From within the church. You have another thing
Go ahead, clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We the ISUPK started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, in the Commander Yohana, a precinct officer, Kassafa God. This is a Tuesday night brotherhood for the ISUPK Northern California, ISUPK Sacramento, ISUPK Las Vegas region. All right, we're going to go over the topic tonight, which is rededication to brotherhood. As we all know, the ISUPK, we teach brotherhood every week of the month, every week of the year. We talk about brotherhood because this is one of the most important things when it comes to joining the Lord's army, when it comes to serving the Lord, when it comes to following our King, Yahushua Mashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Christ.
Right.
Christ had extreme brotherhood for the children of Yasharallah, man. For the sons and daughters of Israel, the nation of Israel. He had so much brotherhood for this nation, he gave up his life for this nation.
That's right.
And right now, we're coming upon the feast of dedication. And at the end of this week, we'll be opening the feast of dedication. All schools all over the nation will be having a celebration for the feast of dedication concert. We'll be having ours celebrating Hanukkah here at 2213 McDonald Avenue, Richmond, California. If you need a ride, the teacher will arrange it. Just contact ISUPK Northern California. Will get you to the feast day. Anything else? Let's see. Commander General Yohana will be teaching a class on the day as well, so be sure to check that out. All right. You're right. If I may, are you doing something real quick? What is the Feast of Dedication about exactly, from what you know, if you know? You can explain it.
That's actually everything that took place in the feast, or
Well, why do we say dedication, and what is the dedication about?
a dedication, according to definition, is rededicating yourself to something, recommitting yourself to something.
Right.
So the piece of dedication is them recommitting themselves to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord.
Yes and no, but specifically, the Feast of Dedication resolved around. Let's just get it. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 4. We'll start at verse 38. All right, a little backstory to it is when the heathens came in and took over the land of Israel, specifically Alexander the Greek took over the land of Israel. When he died at a young age from illness, he left it to about 4 or 5 different generals, and they split up the empire. And one of them, it landed in the hands of a man named Antiochus Epiphanes. And he hated the Lord's chosen people. He had a disdain for the children of Israel, kind of like how Donald Trump talked about the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. How he talked about the so-called Mexicans, called them rapists, called them drug dealers, called them all types of disgusting things, talked about them like they're animals. His hatred for the so-called Mexicans wasn't based in any fact. His hatred for the Mexicans was in order for him to unite his people. It was in order for him to gain power and push his agenda. That's why Donald Trump hated the Mexicans so much. It's because he knew his constituency, or the people that follow Donald Trump, hate Mexicans. Right. You see what I'm saying? They have a deep hatred for them, so he showed even more hatred for them. And so this is how Antiochus Epiphanes, he hated that the children of Israel had our own God, and we weren't willing to submit to the gods of the Greeks. Because when you look at these other nations, right, you got your Hamites. The Hamites celebrate voodoo. The Egyptians, they have Horus, Ra, Isis. They have a million different, Osiris, they have a million different gods, right? You go to the Hindus, they have 1,000 different gods the same way. All these other nations, when the Greeks would come and conquer them, they had no problem bowing down and saying that Caesar is a god. Because in all these religions, no different today, they teach that you are a god, you are God. That's Satanism 101, you know what I mean? And so nothing's new under the sun. That's what they were doing back then. But the children of Israel, we only have one God. Our God is Yahweh. Right. There is no other power except the most high power that we recognize or that we follow or that we honor. All right? And so this is where this hatred came from. It says there were men that stood strong, that would not bow down to these men, and they had to go above and beyond to disrespect us, to defame us. So let's go ahead and read 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 38.
The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 38. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate and the altar profane, the gates burnt up, and the shrubs growing in the courts, as in a forest, or in one of the mountains. Yea, and the priest chamber pulled down.
Right, so you got these men, Judas Maccabees soldiers, and these men, they're coming and seeing how the sanctuary and the altar that had been profaned. You know, in the book of 2 Maccabees in the 6th chapter, it talks about how they brought in harlots and whores, had orgies in the temple. They were having parties. And you know, where anywhere Esau goes, when Esau parties, what is he doing? He's getting high. Right. They were getting high in our temple. You see what I'm saying? Right. They were doing all these abominable things in our temple. And they said when they see the shrubs growing in the courts, like it hasn't been kept up, you know what I mean? Right. Weeds are growing, all of that. Keep going.
39. They ripped their clothes and made great lamentations.
No sweat.
And cast ashes upon their hands.
Right. So this was another sign of great suffering. Lamentation is to lament. Is basically to let out your grief and your pain and suffering, to mourn. They were mourning at the things to see this sight at such a place that was such an honorable place, and a place that was holy, like really holy and separate. You know what I mean? We always knew this word holy is separate. This altar is sanctified. It's separate. It's not for your everyday use. These wine cups are not just for you to give to your child as a sippy cup. You know what I mean? This is for priestly work. And this temple and this altar has been used up like it's, you know, the movies, you got to think about all those movies where the kids get left in charge and the parents go out of town. And when the parents come back, the house is just destroyed. Vases have been knocked over and cracked. Grandma's damn ashes is turned over. You know what I'm saying? They done rolled up weed with the Bible. You know what I mean? They done done everything in this house. They done had sex on your parents' bed. You know what I mean? It's just like the women always break down and crying sometimes in the scene. They just like, oh my God, I can't believe my house. That's how these men felt to see some place. And for any brothers, you know what I'm saying, in the UPK, you could imagine not only the pain and the anger that would come with that. Like knowing what it feels like to have a building, having a school, having a table, and then one day coming in here, it's some damn Edomites in here chopping up cocaine where we got our scrolls at, and we burned incense at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That it wasn't just a sign of the disrespect. The reason why they rent the clothes is because the only way that can happen is if a Yoruba bar was not here. If a Karat, like, we're gonna protect this place with our life. So the only way you're gonna see a goddamn Edomite on this table with some cocaine is gonna be some brothers is gonna have to give up all. I'm gonna have to be dead for this thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why they rent their clothes, the pain of knowing of how many of their people had to die for this disrespect to happen. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
Verse 40, sir?
Let's see. Matter of fact, drop down to verse 42.
Come. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 42. So he chose priests. For he chose priests of blameless conversation,
right?
Such as had pleasure in the law.
Right. So Judas decided to get these priests together that were studied in the law, had pleasure in the law, and were blameless in their conversation, righteous men. So now let's tie this back into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is we have to rededicate ourselves to brotherhood. We have to rededicate ourselves from the filth that the heathens have tried to put on us. They have tried to teach us growing up. You see what I'm saying? And when you see those things seeping back in, we have to cleanse ourselves and rededicate ourselves like these brothers did.
Right.
And these brothers chose honorable priests to come and clean the temple. And that's why we have to go to the men above us to learn, coming into class, learning from the generals, learning from the captains, learning from the officers on how to be better. Because he chose the righteous priests to clean the temple. We need those men to cleanse us. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see. Let's drop down to verse. Let's go to verse 47.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 47. Then they took whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the former. Verse 48. And made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple and hallowed the courts.
Right. Okay. So we get one more. We'll drop down one more time to verse 56.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offerings with gladness and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Right. So that's also how we can rededicate ourselves to the brotherhood, is by sacrificing. You know what I'm saying? Coming in and doing this work, giving everything we've got to the Most High God, because we know that. Matter of fact, give me first. What is it? Is it 1 Corinthians 6:19? Balkashah.
Come.
I believe that's what I want.
1 Corinthians 6 and 29.
In 19, Balkashah. How we know how it's important, how these two things are connected? Because for one, do we have a temple today?
Sir.
Where is it?
It's the school and our body.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And we are the body of what? We're the body of Christ. You know what I'm saying? So Christ said he would tear down the temple in 3 days and build it back up. And so we don't have a physical temple in the land of Israel. There can only be one location for the actual temple where they did the sacrifices, where they held, you know what I'm saying? But now, since that temple has been destroyed, we're left with this temple, which is the body of Christ, the brothers and sisters. So let's go ahead and read.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 16.
Matter of fact, go to verse 18.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 18. Now some are puffed up.
No. Chapter 6, verse 19. That was my fault. That was on me.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 19. What? Know ye not?
Know ye not?
Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit?
Is the what?
The temple of the Holy Spirit.
Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. That's where the Holy Spirit resides in you. How is the Lord going to get the work done for the mission of his people? He's got to use us.
Right.
We're the ones to get these things done. We're where the sacrifice goes on now, man.
Right.
And so these brothers out here in Northern California, man, give yourselves a hand. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you how a shot to labor amongst brothers that are like yourselves, man. Seeing brothers sacrifice day in and day out for this truth and for the Most High God. And this is a time for everyone, you know what I'm saying, to examine ourselves and to push even more. Push forward and do more, you know what I'm saying? Become better, become great. Look at the sacrifice that the men before us have given and allow that to encourage you to rededicate to do even greater. You know what I'm saying? Like, the school looks amazing. The paint looks great. The table looks good. But we're going to add more to the table. Right. We're going to add more to the walls. We're going to figure out more what we can do to beautify the school. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And that's the same spirit we need to be in with ourselves. Okay, what can we do? What are brothers and other zones doing that we haven't done yet? What's something new that we can add to the school? What can we put here? What they used to say, I want to put paint where it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I see this is painted. Well, okay, we can get them covered up. You know what I'm saying? We can do this, we can do that. And that's just the spirit and zeal, like relighting that fire. You know what I mean? Right. Rekindling that fire and getting that zeal going back again. That's what this time of year should be, because we are the temple now. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we can rededicate in that sense. You know what I mean? Obviously, we can, like I said, get the school in the physical form better. But the most important thing would be yourself and your spirit. Let's drop that. Let's get Revelations chapter 3, in verse 16.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
Right. So read it one more time.
Come. The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Verse 17.
Hold on right there. So right here, this is Christ speaking. And he's coming and checking these angels and checking these different schools. And he's telling them the things that are going on in this school, in this location, in this region. These are the good things that you're doing. These are the things you need to work on. It says y'all are messing up in this area. Some of you brothers out here are lukewarm. That's never where we want to be in the truth. It's complacent. Matter of fact, I'm going to look up the word complacent real quick. Complacent, showing smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. Like, it's a smug type of vibe, uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. The Bible says to examine yourself and examine yourself daily. Is this what I did right here? Is this, everything that I could have done? Could I have done more? Am I studying to show myself approved? How was my brotherhood? Was that what I just did right there? Was that brotherly and someone did that? You know what I'm saying? What was the spirit behind when I said that? You know what I'm saying? Always got to be looking at ourselves. That, I'm talking this class for me. It's a lot. You know what I mean? But always getting in the mirror and seeing, you know what I mean? What can I do more? How can I be better in this brotherhood? You see what I mean? And being complacent is, okay, I did this. I accomplished that. I sacrificed this. And nobody was here when I did that and I held this down. It was just me. Okay, well, Christ, not good for that. But do you stop running? Do you stop going? Is it over? Have you reached the finish line? Matter of fact, give me 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. Good shot. This house wasn't built on men that became complacent. And please, sir, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for it. I beseech you, sir. Speak on something.
No, I mean, if I may, what you're saying is so heavy because it's like how Commander Junior Hunter. He stays so young because he stayed young in the truth. Even though he got 13 shields behind his name, in front of his name, he got as much love and respect, you know what I'm saying, for a young man coming in, just like the angels.
Right.
The angels respect you coming into the truth, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that should never get lost in translation, lost in, man, I've been doing this. You see that actually coming with a fake Israelites. Mm-hmm. Fake Israelites do it all the time. Oh man, I've been in the truth. I was in the truth in 1992. All right, who you checking with? Right. Nah, see, I don't do that. But I see where you're coming from, brother. But I haven't given anything up. Well, why you not here?
Right.
If you want to get complacent in, I did all these things, so for that reason I don't have to do anything. Man, leave the truth. Don't be a fake Israelite. You know what I'm saying? But in here, we gonna all stay young men with rank, man. That same energy you had when you found out the truth, man, it's supposed to just get more satisfying as time goes on. Not like, man, I did my 20 classes. I ain't never got to teach another class again. Nah, man. Keep going.
That's right. Let's go ahead and bring out that precept.
Come. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all?
Right. Everyone that's in a race, everyone's got to run. Once you hear that gunshot, pow! Everybody at the tracks, mark and set, go. Everybody got to run, right? Coming into the truth, you following the Lord, you serving the Lord, everyone has to run. Everyone in this race has to move. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come. But one receiveth the prize.
But one receiveth the prize. Keep going.
Come. So run that ye may obtain.
Right. You got to run that you can gain what you're running for. Just like Officer Karat was saying, which is so heavy. Yeah, you came in 1992 and you was running and you did this and you did that. And then he just put his hand on his knees, you know what I mean? And just got burnt out. Oh, go ahead, somebody.
You heard that Y2K right there.
Right.
And then when Christ didn't come back in the year 2000, you put down your sword.
Right.
You're not in the truth, man. You're understanding the truth.
Right.
That's like being in a relationship with somebody. If we broke up, we ain't together no more. You can't claim all this time since we departed.
That's right. Yeah, right. And that's exactly what's going on. They trying to continue this race when you left and went to another track. You in another sport. You don't even want to say they ain't on the track no more. They ain't running no more. They doing a homosexual sport.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You doing gay wrestling. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is over there. It's not what we're doing. And you try to continue, well, I'm still competing. You know what I mean? I'm still in the truth. Nah, you are doing something different. You know what I mean? And so that's what it's saying. Like every man that comes into a race has to run. We all have to run. Some brothers gonna be faster than the other brother. But we all running towards this goal. We're trying to get the kingdom. We're trying to get on those chairs. We're trying to gain a crown. And until that day, go ahead, sir, please.
So like, I was just on the same reference. Even if you want to use a relay race, you got to strategically put people in place.
Right.
And that's where the Lord puts you at. The Lord puts you in place to come in at 92.
Right.
He put me in place to come in at 2002.
Right.
He put another brother in place to come out in 2012.
Right.
2016, wherever it happened. But it's a proper placement.
Right.
Because the Lord knows who's the best runner at this point. You understand? Only difference is you don't stop running. You keep running right along with us.
That's right. And so lucky. That's what make me think of something, another precept, matter of fact. Oh man, let me see. And then for let's go to Matthew chapter 20 and verse 1. And then we'll come back to something else I wanted. Let's see if that's what I want. But definitely, sir, I like to say, Karak make the class go, come alive, and so I appreciate it. Feel free. Like I said, here. Let's see. Let's go to 20. Okay, so let's go to verse 1.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder,
Right.
which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard.
Right. The kingdom of heaven. This place that we all working to get is like unto a householder, and he went out early in the morning to hire laborers in his vineyard. He said, I'm going to go hire you to come into the truth. He hired those men in 1985, 87, 92, 94, 95. Read verse 2.
Come, verse 2. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into the vineyard.
Right. This is what you're going to get paid. You're going to get into the kingdom. After doing this work, you're going to gain a seat or interest into the kingdom of heaven. So let's keep going.
Come. Verse 3.
Mhm.
And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. Verse 4.
Right.
And said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And then went their way.
Right. So then time has passed. He went later on in the day. He told these men, hey, come into the truth, put in your work, and you're going to get into the kingdom. You're going to get paid this penny, right? You can skip down. He's going at different hours. You get to verse 6. He talks about the 11th hour. So, that's at the end of the day, right? And he's telling them to come in, and you can go drop down to verse 8. Baba Shah.
Come. Verse 8. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, Call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the least unto the first.
Right, the last unto the first. Pay the men that just came in and paid it all the way up to the ones that came in first. Keep reading.
Verse 9. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. Verse 10. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more. And they likewise received every man a penny.
Right. So the men, that should never be the spirit that we are in.
Oh God.
That we come into the truth first. We put this much work in. That brother that comes in last is just as valuable as the man that's been here the whole entire time holding this truth down. And that's how Commander General Yohana looks at a young man that became a trooper yesterday. Right. That a brother that earned his Hebrew name. Right. That a sister that shed herself for the world and did her time and became a new woman. You know what I'm saying? That's what the angels rejoice for, and that's the spirit that we should be in the truth. But these brothers had a different spirit on them. They complained about this person gaining the same things that they felt like they put in more work for them to get. They felt like they should have got more, even though they agreed to get the penny initially. Let's keep going.
Verse 11. And when they had received it, they murmured against the goodness of the house. Verse 12. Saying, these lads have wronged but 1 hour.
Right.
And thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day.
Right.
Verse 13. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny?
Right. So, go ahead, sir.
And you can use this as twofold because, say if a new man do come in, a young brother, he is doing a lot of work, more than what the older brother is doing. You know what I'm saying? Or what the brother that was, in the school longer, or doing the work longer. You know what I mean? And then he feel like, oh, you ain't nothing now. I'm doing way more work than you, so I deserve this and that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Way more than you. You know what I'm saying? This is a vice versa scripture because
that's right.
At the end of the day, we all get the same amount of money, right. And the scripture that you brought out in the beginning, we all should be running and doing the work. You know what I'm saying? So that's it that you brought up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. So, That's true, because once again, I'm going to bring out the next precept. After that, I'll paraphrase it though. We do this work not unto men, but unto the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how is it you signed up to do the work of the Lord? No one came here to at least I would think not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if they did come here, they're not gonna last here. But no one came here to get rank. No one came here to get honor. No one came here to get glory. You know what I'm saying? The spirit of the priests and prophets that come into the truth was a man that was broken down by the Most High God and cried out for some type of deliverance, man. So like it for sounding Christian with that word. I don't know what's the better. Like, you know what I mean? To get free from the hell of this world. This place was a sanctuary to save Black and Hispanic men and women. You know what I'm saying? And to give us a second chance.
Right.
That's why we came here.
Right.
To humble ourselves and to serve the Most High God. Because we serve our oppressor every goddamn day of our life. We tried serving our women. We tried serving our children. We did all of that. We gave them Christmas gifts. We bought them birthday gifts. We gave overtime to the slavery. What did they give us back? Hell. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that we give and get something back is doing the work of the Lord, man.
That's right.
Is working to gain this kingdom, man. And we can't forget sight of that. All right? Let's keep going. Let's see. We in the middle of verse 13.
Come, sir. Verse 13. Can I start from the top off?
Yeah, go ahead. It ain't Captain Qual, Commander. Anybody in between him and Commander Yohanan? Or Yahweh, I don't know what you're talking about. Like
The book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 13. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny?
Right.
Verse 14. Take that thine is, and go thy way. I will give unto the last, even as unto thee.
Right.
Verse 15. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is thine eye evil because I am good?
Read that one more time.
Is it not lawful for me to do what I will do with my own?
Right.
Is thine eye evil because I am good?
This part right here, read that part. Is thine what?
Is thine eye evil because I am good?
Right, like there is no keeping score in that sense. Like, okay, I did that, I did that, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Christ is honoring this person that came into the truth, got his name, swept the floor one time. You in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? This brother been holding down since 1994. You in the same kingdom. You know what I mean? Go ahead, sir, please.
You know the precept to go with that, right?
Right.
One water, one planet, one water.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you gotta. No,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
lie. You have to. You said one water, one planet.
One water.
Oh, okay. Right.
They all have the same.
Right. It's all one body. Everyone has different gifts that we bring to the truth. And like Yawasab was saying, obviously Yawasab, there's some that may come in and they're running stronger and faster than the one that's been here. But this brother, he ain't living in no sin. He ain't doing this or that. He gonna be in that same kingdom with us. You know what I'm saying? We all are adding to the truth. And, you know, if Christ say you good, then you good. Who am I to speak against one of the Lord's anointed?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Did you want to find out, sir? Or
No,
okay. Okay, no sweat. You got something to say? Go
If
ahead.
I may, sir, kind of comparison to like a draft pick. You know, when you play sports for the oppressor, you can get drafted. You can be the number one drafted in the country.
Right.
But that don't, you not know better than that what they would call Mr. Irrelevant.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Because Mr. Irrelevant might come in and do what he needs to do.
Right.
You know?
You know that Mr. Irrelevant is hard. The
God.
Golden State Warriors. You know what I mean?
God.
Like, yeah. Stephen Curry was not in that realm. Draymond Green was not in that realm. Klay Thompson wasn't in that realm. You know what I mean? But they have become legends in the game. So it is all, like you said, they all in the league though too. You know what I mean? They all made in the league too. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's drop that and let's go to Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16, Dr. Shah. Matter of fact, Matthew 24 and 13. So Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13.
Come, sir. Look at Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right. This is not a time to get weak or prideful. We have to realize the signs of the times.
Right.
The things that are going on in the world today. Like, give it up to life. Give it up for Captain Cesario. You know what I'm saying? Captain the 13,000, Captain Cesario able to do the damn thing on Clubhouse and kick in the door, and they shut it down, man, because they knew it was about to happen, and they could not let that happen on their platform because of how powerful the message of what we teach here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge.
Right.
You may look up to Kanye West, but we look up to Captain Desarian.
That's right.
And Captain Desarian looks up to Commanding General Yohana, man.
Right.
And that's the secret that the world may not know. Captain Desarian is arguing, I said that the other day, he's arguably the most famous Israelite in the world right now.
Oh, God.
You understand what I'm saying? But the people that look up to him don't know, or if they don't know, they should know, because we say it every goddamn day. But we learn these things under Commanding General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? NISUPK. And so Kanye West, they say what? They say if you do better, you do better. If Ye knew better, he do better, man. And he would want to come and learn at the feet of the priests and prophets of the Lord, man.
That's right.
And just as they were getting a rapport being built up, they cut that thing down. You know what I'm saying? But the reason, the point of what I'm saying is that I'm not sure if you could have told me when I came into the truth that Captain Zarya would be on the phone with Kanye West at one point in time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we are surely in the last days. And it has nothing to do with being a man pleaser or this thing. It's just, what are the goddamn odds that at the Google the brother's name, he got 24 Grammys. He world renowned, got billions of dollars. Yeezy. I walk into the brother house in Vegas. He got all the Yeezys. His rib got the Yeezys. It's like everyone knows this person, and this person is dealing with IUIC. Wow. He dealing with, okay, I ain't gonna name drops like it. The Purple Cat, the Candy Canes, the this and that, the child molesters, the stripper squad. Nah, man. The men of the world know who to come to when they want to deal with men of the Lord. Go ahead, sir, please.
Man, when you bring it out, it's so heavy because from this moment on, no celebrity. That's why the Kanye interview was so heavy.
Right.
Zero. Kyrie Irving,
Right.
Nick Cannon, anybody else that's gonna come out as an Israelite and they black, they can't say that they don't know who the ISUPK is.
Right.
They can't say they don't know who Captain Zaryak is. So all of this I'm an Israelite on my own garbage
Right.
is done.
Damn.
The only thing they didn't get was to see Kanye West get treated like a student. It was all they cut off in the beginning because by the end of that interview, Kanye West would have known. Kanye West, that come on now, Salakia. You know how many times we said all the things they say is anti-Semitic? All like everybody bringing out all the things that's on Clubhouse that's anti-Semitic. You know how many times that happens and it gets to go?
Right.
But at the end of that interview with Captain Cesario, not only would Kanye have a friend in Captain Cesario, not the other way around,
Right.
but he would be a monster on TV.
Right.
He would be like, oh god damn, take every damn thing from
Right.
him. He's not just saying black people are Jews now. He's saying blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are Jews now.
That's right.
That would shatter the earth, man. Then we all have to stop with this garbage that we separate.
Right. Ooh, wee. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, please.
If I may, sir, Salakia, what's so heavy about the whole interview is like, when you listen to the interview, he actually acknowledged the Ottawa.
Right.
You know what I mean? For him to say, I'm not feeling it. You know how many people said something to him and he didn't care about acknowledging their spirit?
Right.
You know what I mean? But because he is who he is, man, the truth, and doing this amazing work, he had to acknowledge the spirit that he felt that he got from that brother. You know
That's right.
Salakia.
No, Most High in Christ. You know what I mean? And that, and when every brother picked up on that and noticed that too, is like that let me know, okay, you know, this brother ain't as crazy as they try to play him too. You know what I mean? Like he is really sharp on how quickly he was able to pick up just in his voice, because we know our captains are. We know, okay, he just all right. We going along with it, but he really wanted to get into something deeper, and he could sense that. And so, just at that point, but bringing it back, let's read Matthew chapter 24, verse 13 one more time. Baba Bashar.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13.
Right.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
The brother, the sister that endures to the end. Yeah, you came into the truth. Yeah, you got your name. Yeah, you put in some work. Yeah, you did this, you did that. But did you endure to the end in order to be saved? Did you go all the way through with it, man? Did you see it through? And it would be a shame. Like, this is an example. If I may, I'll try to bring it down real quickly. Just a story for myself, or something that I went through that lets me know where this is headed as priests and prophets of the Lord. When I went to New York in August of this year for the headquarters barbecue, right, in Harlem, New York, downtown Times Square, having the camp speaking down there with Commander Jenny Hunter, right? One of those nights, I returned back to my Airbnb with my rib. I was telling y'all the story the other day. I returned back to my Airbnb in the Bronx. And this Airbnb was in the Bronx. It's inside was nice, but outside was the hood. You know what I'm saying? Trash out there, barber shop. Trash on the floor, you know what I'm saying? You might see this and that, graffiti, prostitutes walking around, drug dealers, you know what I'm saying? People sitting outside the house because it's so hot inside. In New York, it gets real hot. So the AC ain't really gonna cool down the house. You might not have AC. So they out there with they barbecue chairs, grilling, barbecue, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of Latino brothers in the Bronx, man. But we walking back to our room, it's like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And when we walking up, my rib heard the Latino brother tell a Judite brother, he was like, yeah, and I had to shoot the nigga. You know what I'm saying? She heard him say that, I didn't hear it. She told me, she's like, you just hear that? The dude just said he had to shoot somebody. And she tried to walk to the other side of me to get in between me and him, you know what I'm saying, to get a little protection. We walk in, we go in the store. The same dude comes in behind us and says, hey, anything that they want is on me. I'm going to pay for it. The water, I appreciate it. Anything that these two want, I'm going to pay for it. It's on me, he tells the Arab at the counter. At first, I didn't hear him, but he said it a couple of times. I'm like, well, damn, why is he buying our food? Is this some New York City slicking type of, he trying to get at my girl, or is he doing a baller flex, or what is going on? I'm like, F it, damn it. Go ahead, grab some chips, grab some soda. Matter of fact, grab that too, you know what I'm saying? We grab some things and we walk out the store. We walk out the store, he was like, Shalom, King. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm like, damn, what made him say that? I look down, I got the shield on my shirt. I got ISUPK on my shirt. The brother was in the world, but you can tell he knows who the Israelites are. He knows who the men of the Lord are. And he knows about the truth. And he paid honor and homage to me for doing the work in the school and bought everything for me in the store. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying all that to say, endure to the end.
Right.
I told my rib that one day there's going to be men that last week shot a nigga. And they're going to line up at the door. And they're going to say, what do we need to do to be with the men in the ISUPK, man? They're going to be niggas that last week was selling dope and were the big time drug dealers. They're going to line up at the door of the priests and prophets and ask us, what do we want them to do? And that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be a shame to be in the last days and there's a gate and you got a sister, you got two women, you got one woman that was in the truth. And she starts to go back into the world. She starts to get high again. She starts to do things that go against her husband and dress like women in the world. She starts to deal with other men on the low. And she leaves the truth or gets kicked out of the truth because of the things that she's done or that he's done. This brother had rank. He was this or that in the school. And he let marijuana bring him back into the world. He let his wife finesse him out of the truth and leave his brothers in the truth. And then you got this other person that is a drug dealer, is a prostitute, is a pimp, is a whore. And they walk to the gate of the ISUPK. And they say, man, it's the end of the world. This craziness going outside. Let us in. What do you need us to do? And that same person that walk up, Shalom, Yahweh Bashiri outside, walk a thug. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Thumb Bashiri outside. That person that walked back up to the school that left, they're going to get turned around.
Right.
That brother that was selling dope yesterday and that sister that was on a sugar pole yesterday, she going to get let in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because they never had the opportunity to turn down the truth.
Right.
They ain't getting their first chance to come in. And when you see things like this with Kanye West, and you see it's going to be men like him and greater than him that's going to come and ask of the priests and prophets, what can we do? You see what I'm saying? So it would be a shame for someone in here to not endure to the end and lose that spot. Hey, you might be able to get let in, but you're going to be last. You're going to get in the line. We're gonna let them in first before you did because you turned down this knowledge. They never got an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But Salaki, let's go to my next precept. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6. Is that right to say I was correct? I don't know. What would you say? Would we turn them down or they would just get to the end of the line? You never know what Christ might say too, but that's his discretion. But as far as us, how would you?
He gonna say, I never knew you.
Right, that's the precept. Right. Right. Yeah, that would be horrible though, to know you had been so close. And you gave up the kingdom for what? For marijuana? Right. You gave up the kingdom for bots? Right. You gave up the kingdom for rod sisters? You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? It's World War III out. Ain't no more weed shops. Ain't no more strip clubs open. Ain't no more. What else the niggas give up the truth for? You know what I'm saying? Like, right, yeah. You gonna be the big time dope man? Ain't no more crackheads for you to sell to. So you gave up the kingdom to go back into the world. Now the world's coming to an end, and you want to get back into the truth. Come on, man. Endure to the end. That's insanity.
If I may,
please, sir.
the scripture says that you never knew the truth.
Right.
You know? That's why they get the chance, because they didn't know the truth. You knew the truth, and you pushed the sword down. It's worse for you.
Right. Damn right. Let's go ahead.
Come on, sir. The book of Isaiah, chapter 64, verse 6. Behold, it is written before me.
You in Isaiah 64 and 6?
Isaiah 64 and 6, sir. Oh, so like the other one.
What's up?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 64 and 6. But we are all as an unclean thing.
Right.
And all our righteousness are as filthy rags.
Right. So, but we are all as an unclean thing. All our righteousness are as filthy rags. Like that filthy rag is that rag when a woman's on her monthly. You know what I'm saying? All the things that we've done for the work of the Lord is still. You can't expect the Lord to put you on some pedestal, basically. This is not to say that your work means nothing. This is to keep in your mind to stay humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is to remind you that the evil you've done in the world just didn't just go away because you know how to say, how about you outside of the because you've been to full Passovers, nigga. You still did that. You know what I'm saying? And those things still affected other people. But now that you have changed, now you are better than those people. No, we're not better than those people. We just know better than those people. Right. That's the difference. Stay humble and stay working. You know what I'm saying? Endure to the end. That's the whole. You got to run this race through. Don't take your foot off the pedal. Put the foot all the way on the gas. All gas, no brakes. You know what I mean? Because we all on our second chance. You know what I'm saying? And so, at what point do you forget that? How much work are you doing to forget that you on your second chance? There's no amount. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. You can't forget that. And once you start to forget it, the Lord was forgetting it, but He gonna remember it now. Is this how you gonna turn around and do that? Like, I don't remember that. Okay, so now you feel like you done something for me. It's we all good. You know what I'm saying? You gonna treat this brother like this. You gonna treat that sister like that, as if I can't treat you like that. You see what I'm saying? And you really deserve it. I love them too, and I have mercy on them. So you can't become that. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got something to say outside? Okay. Come. All right, let's go to the next precept. We're going to go to Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16. We'll see what time we got. 8:59. Try to maybe go like 15 more minutes. Light got a little cold, a little congestion. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 16. Bubble shot.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 16, and it reads, "But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifice, God is well pleased."
Right. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. Don't forget. This is that old English. He said, don't forget to do good and communicate. communicate well with each other. You see what I'm saying? Not only like getting to camp, we in communication. Okay, what time are we going to be at this location? What time do we need to pick this up? Who's going to bring that? But also in how we talk to each other, how you deliver your message to the men above you, to the men below you. You know what I'm saying? To the sisters, how you talk to each other, how we communicate. When you have an issue and you let it build up, your communication becomes off. Like I had a friend, you know what I mean, in the world who wasn't good at communicating.
No.
Kalea. Better back up. Don't touch that. Get back. Well, all right. It's a lot. But you know, the brother, he was giving a ride to one of the partners to work, but the dude was never giving him gas money. So then he come and he like, oh man, this brother will never give me no gas. I'm like, why are you telling me? You know what I mean? Communicate that to him. And either he's gonna say, oh my bad, here's some gas money, or he's gonna say, I'm not giving you no gas money, you don't have to give him a ride anymore. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it's like communication. When you let things build up and don't communicate it, then you're just gonna let it blow up. Right. So like you gave him a ride 100 times, then on the last day, you're like, nigga, you ain't never give me no gas money. Like, if you would have never got to that point, you would have said something on ride 5 or 3 or 2. And y'all would have still been good friends, and it would have been a better situation. But it's just it built up slowly because of your lack of communication. Then now you have become in the wrong. Right. That's what Preaching Officer 5001 Yala taught me. He said, especially dealing with your women, he was like, you don't want to be right, and that you and your rightness now become wrong. Now you gotta apologize to her. She was out of order and she did something wrong, and now you telling her about it, but you get to go on. So you went past the mark, you know what I'm saying? And now you have got to apologize to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be like that with our brothers either, where you weren't right. The brother should have did this. He shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? But if you would have communicated, then he would have been on Salakia. Okay, well, I can fix that. Now you done gone so far. Now you got to say Salakia to him. He got to say Salakia to you. You see what I'm saying? So just communication is important to do good. Let's read the next verse. I think verse 17.
Verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your soul,
right,
as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy.
Ooh, read that one more time, because I like reading it with you. You know what I'm saying? You go along. Read that one more time.
Come. The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief.
Keep reading.
Come. For that is unprofitable for you.
Right. So I don't know. So like if I'm giving away, it says low battery 2. It's like on 20% though. Probably won't go past that anyway, but you can just mark that off. But so like I don't know if I am out of order, General Mayaka, but one of the jewels he gave me this past week in Vegas, being able to talk to 12 Shell General Mayaka, he said, you know what rank is for in the general's eyes? I'm gonna ask you, right?
More in what aspect, sir?
Oh, yeah, that's a good follow-up question. Okay, in the aspect of, I ain't gonna get, let's see, yeah, because I'm gonna hit you with what he said, I don't know if it's,
To take on more responsibility. You know, not necessarily to issue it out. You know, hold brothers accountable, but also understand that with more weight comes more expectation from yourself.
that's part of it, but that's not what he said. Anybody want to speak on it, sir? Go ahead.
Well, I can't,
But what you know, right?
It's a general, so you know, you got more juice than me. Just being, you know what I'm saying, a young man in this thing, man, you know, the short time that I've been in it, you know, what I always learned, you know, even getting raised up, even watching other people get raised up, you know what I'm saying, they always say, you know, well, there's just more work to do, meaning that, you know, shit, they really serving, they not really, brothers don't got rank because they getting served.
Right.
They serving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what he said.
Right. So, and that both of y'all brothers are right, but the context, let's go into the precept. I'm going to say how it applies to this precept. Where, verse 17. That's what I'm saying. The context of this precept right here.
So when we read
verse 17, yeah.
Coming up.
Sorry.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your soul, as they that must give account.
Right, so that part right there. What the general told me was the way they look at the rank in this aspect would be, we need to know who to blame.
Right.
The brother that's in charge is who we're going to hold accountable for when something goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? This brother was in charge of the situation, and this is the one that's going to get the checking. You see what I'm saying? And so this precept is so important because as the men that are following underneath is saying, the first precept was to do good and to communicate, right? So we got to be in good communication. That communication and the way you deal with the men above you and the men below you, you got to understand that when you are honoring or following or obeying the men above you, that they have someone above them. And they have someone that they have to answer to, and that they have to give account to. And so anything in this house can be solved through good communication, because you know if there's some issue here, always men above that brother's gonna have to answer to. You see what I'm saying? So if there's an issue, don't let that be a reason for bad communication. You see what I'm saying? And just understand that the brothers giving orders, take orders. You know what I mean? And so it's all in that. I ain't gonna dig on that too much, but you know, that was something that was very heavy to me because all right, maybe this is an example I can use from the world, Salakia, but I had a homeboy. They always talk about like big time like drug dealers or whatever, or your plug or whatever. He was like, man, you know what I mean? My plug, nigga was austere, or you know what I mean? Everybody come around. He was like, I ain't seen that nigga act like a certain way until his plug come around. He said the nigga hopped up, you know, started cleaning up, you know what I'm saying, and doing all this. Like, his big homie come through. Like, to us, that's all we see. But I just so happened to be there today when the nigga that serving him come through. Like, oh shit, I never seen this nigga act like this. He usually like, hey, baby, you know, get your feet off my damn carpet. You know what I mean? Like, But then when the man above him comes, then you see him act a certain way. So it's like, you know, everybody has to answer to somebody, and you know, honor that pressure. Don't want to make it greater because of being insubordinate. You know what I'm saying? Or not having any recognition of that. Like, okay, yeah, this brother got to answer for what I do. I can't just do what I want to do because I got to answer for the men with me. They can't do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So when they start doing that, and I got to answer, and he got to answer, you know what I'm saying? I respect this brother. I don't want to use the word respect, but I have an honor, a care for this brother. And so we all are going to make things greater and do more work. Like Officer Croc always say, you know what I mean? We want to make Captain Quam look good. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do our part. And vice versa. Because Captain want to make the general over him look good. And like, you know what I mean? It just keeps on going up. And Commander Johanna wants to make Yahushua look good. You know what I'm saying? Since he's been left with that responsibility. But Salaki, let's what time we got? I'll go about 4 more minutes. Let's go to James chapter 1, verse 22.
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only,
Right.
deceiving your own selves.
Right.
Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Right. Hold on. Right. So we gotta be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. That's Christianity. It's like, go ahead. Can you go break down a little more, so
They hear it, amen it, and then go about their way doing what they're gonna do.
Right. And that's so effeminate though. Like when someone says deceiving their own selves, we every person has their day. We're gonna get on our brothers, but that is an effeminate characteristic. That's what females do. They're the greatest at lying to themselves, whether it's the eyelashes and the makeup and the hair and the this and the that filter. They really believe and they start to lie to themselves so much. It's easy for them to lie to you. And that's like Christianity. It's like they lie to themselves so much. They believe that the Lord is with them and that they're doing what the Lord wants them to do when the pastor got a sex tape with a man. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's doing what the Lord wants to do. He act like that didn't happen. He done done this. He's buying cocaine. You know, let me get a little dub. Let me get an 8-ball. And then he go out and give turkeys and he act like that didn't just happen. You know what I'm saying? He's deceiving himself. Don't just be hearers of the word. We have to be doers of the word. It's a while. All right. Let's all right. All right, that's it on that one. Might do one more. We did 6 and 19. Maccabees. Let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 10 in the Apocrypha in verse 21. Let's see what we got. And that'll be it. 10 verse 21. I got a few in here.
Ecclesiastes 10, verse 21, sir?
Right.
Right. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 21. The fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority. But roughness and pride is the loss thereof.
Right. So the fear of the Lord goes before the obtaining of authority. Like fearing the Most High God is what allows you to get put into a position that the Lord will have you to lead his men, his women, his nation, right? But once you get in that position, if you start becoming rough and you have pride, then you're gonna lose that authority. You know what I'm saying? If we all in the UPK have rank over everyone in the world. We can't forget that everyone in the truth has rank over everyone else in the world. You know what I'm saying? I know troopers don't have rank, but goddamn, man, I'll take a trooper over Kanye any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? I'll take anybody in this truth over someone in the world, man. And that's no shade or disrespect to Kanye West, but the point is that authority that was given to you, you can lose it if you have pride over your position. You see what I'm saying? We're not over Kanye West to look down on him. We're over Kanye West to try to pull him up. Just like the drug addict on the corner, you know what I'm saying? You've been put over him by the Lord, not to be like, damn, look at this nigga, get your hands off my car. Back up. You gotta look at this brother like, man, Lord have mercy on him. Hopefully we can do something to pull him out of this condition. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord gave me, this authority to make this person better, right? So unless anybody else has anything else they want to say or add on to the class, any precepts? All right. We pass the class over to preaching officer 500 Uragabar.
We are the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months. In which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, 8 through 10. The 10th in Hebrew, Basharah. 10% of any increase the Lord give you. Give the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. That will be the feast of Hanukkah. Hanukkah, not Hanukkah, Hanukkah. This will be held on December the 17th, and it will be ending on December the 25th. For more information, reach the ISUPK local in your community, or check the ISUPK website for more information. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, men of Israel, I would like to stand module, which means to stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat, Amadu, Barak. We're going to give one courtesy salute to any sister that didn't watch any class online. Men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat, Amadu, Barak. Class dismissed.